I used to be Republican, but the more I educated myself, the more I studied history, economics, and how politics actually works in this country, the more I not only moved away from the party, but I realized that the Republican Party is primarily built on lies, voter suppression, and dependency on us not being educated on politics. So today I decided to rank the top 10 biggest lies Republicans have sold Americans, from 10 to 1, with 1 being the worst. The order of the ranking is my opinion, but everything is factual, backed with receipts. So let's get into it. Number 10, we are the party of law and order. Nixon invented the slogan, then committed Watergate. 7 officials convicted, he resigned, and Reagan ran on it. Then he illegally sold missiles to Iran and funneled money to militias in Nicaragua. 15 officials indicted. Bush Sr. pardoned the Iran-Contra criminals to protect himself. Bush Jr. authorized torture and started a war on WMDs that didn't exist. Every Republican president who ran on law and order broke the law in office. And Trump has continued the tradition. He pardoned every January 6th rioter who assaulted 140 police officers at the Capitol, then arrested 150 veterans for peacefully protesting the Iran war. Violence for Trump gets pardons. Peaceful dissent gets handcuffs. From Nixon to Trump, law and order has always meant one thing: laws for you, none for us. Number 9, we are the party of small government. Trump has issued 228 executive orders in his first year, 7.2 times the historical average. The government took equity stakes in Intel, US Steel, MP Materials, and is exploring equity stake in Google, OpenAI, Meta, Microsoft, and Nvidia. The military budget is $886 billion. They proposed cutting the Small Business Administration by 67% while buying stock in trillion-dollar corporations. That's not small government, that's state capitalism for the rich. Now, number 8, we are pro-life. They overturned Roe versus Wade, then started a war that's killed thousands. They cut school lunch programs, Medicaid, and child care funding. They proposed slashing healthcare while increasing the military budget to $1.5 trillion. And right now it costs around $30,000 to have a baby in America. And they force you to have the baby, then strip away every system that helps you raise it. That's not pro-life, that's pro-birth. After that, you're on your own. Number 7, we support the troops. Every major war in the last 30 years was started by a Republican president. The Gulf War, Afghanistan, Iraq, and now Iran. They charge sailors $400 a month for meals while rationing food on aircraft carriers. They break veterans' arms for protesting. They arrest 150 veterans for sitting with signs. They spend $86 billion on defense, but that money is going to Lockheed Martin, not the people in uniform. Support the troops is a bumper sticker that funds defense contractors and the people invested in those companies, which Trump and his family are investing in pretty much all of them. Number 6, illegal immigrants are destroying America. Undocumented population is 11 million. The deportation target is 21 million, nearly double. So who makes up the difference? They're stripping citizenship from naturalized Americans at 10 times the historical rate. Meanwhile, they accepted 6,665 white South African refugees and only 3 from Afghanistan in 6 months. The SPLC called it the Klan's dream immigration policy. It was never about legality, it was always about color. Now, number 5, AI is unfair. We hire based on merit. If merit were the criteria, Asian Americans would dominate government. They score highest on every metric, but they don't. They're the most underrepresented group in our government. Trump's appointees are 91% white. The Senate is 83% white. I wasn't keeping white people out. It was the only thing letting anyone else in. Merit is the word they use to make racial preference sound fair. And if you want to learn more about the Trump administration, I recommend reading a book called Regime Change. Number 4, the media is fake news. Fox News argued in federal court that it's own programming shouldn't be taken as factual. Fox paid $787 million for knowingly broadcasting lies about the 2020 election. Kash Patel contradicted his own lawsuit on live television. See, they screen fake news so you'll only trust them or don't trust anyone. And then in their own legal filings, prove they're the ones lying. Control the information, control the people. Now, number 3, Muslims are the enemy. Since 9/11, white supremacists committed 73% of extremist murders. Islamic extremists committed only 27%. The FBI director confirmed white supremacy is the top domestic terrorism threat. Yet the FBI spends 8% of its resources on Islamic terrorism and 20% on white supremacy. Republicans posted 1,111 anti-Muslim messages in the last 13 months. See, they need for you to be afraid of Muslims to fund $886 billion in military spending and justify wars that make defense contractors that they're invested in rich. Now, number 2, we are the party of Christianity. Jesus said, feed the poor. They cut food programs. Jesus said, heal the sick. They made healthcare for profit. Jesus said, welcome the stranger. They deport immigrants at any chance possible. Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers. They started 4 wars in 30 years. Pastors are accused of using liberal talking points for reading the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus is too liberal for the Republican Party. This lie is number 2 because it holds the others together. Pete Hegseth quoted Pulp Fiction at a Pentagon prayer breakfast. Falwell's original cause wasn't abortion. It was keeping tax exemption for racially segregated schools. They switched to abortion in the 1980s because segregation became toxic. The Bible never mentions abortion, not even once. They made it the centerpiece of Republican Christianity because why? It wins elections. They don't use the Bible as a sacred text. They use it as branding. Now, number 1, trickle-down economics. The London School of Economics studied 50 years of tax cuts for the wealthy across 18 countries. The conclusion? Tax cuts for the rich had zero significant effect on GDP growth and zero effect on unemployment. Zero. The only measurable result was that the rich got richer and inequality got worse. This is 50 years of data across 18 nations all saying the same thing. It has never worked. Not once, not anywhere. From 2016, the top 0.01% of earners saw a 600% increase in real income. The bottom half of Americans saw nearly zero real wage growth when adjusted for inflation. Productivity doubled in that period, but wages stayed flat. The money workers generated went to the top, not back to them. CEO pay went from 21 to 1 to a 348 to 1 ratio. Stock buybacks were legalized, unions were crushed, and they told you the jobs were coming. The wealth never came back down. But the billionaires, though, multiplied. After Trump's 2017 tax cuts, corporations didn't hire more workers. They bought back their own stock. The 20 largest low-wage employers spent 9 times more on stock buybacks than on employee retirement. Tax revenue dropped, but job growth didn't accelerate. The cuts added $1.9 trillion to the debt. The one big beautiful bill adds another 3.4 to 6 trillion. They cut taxes for billionaires and put the bill on your grandchildren's credit card. That's not economics, that's theft with legislation. Trickle-down economics is number 1 because every other lie on this list exists to protect it. They use Christianity for your vote, fear of Muslims to fund the military budget, law and order to silence dissent, fake news to control what you believe, immigration to give you someone to blame. All of it so you never ask where the money went. It went up. It always goes up. And trickle down is the lie that made you think it was coming back. It never was. Follow for more.